Welcome back in, everyone. I think we're on episode 11 here on Humble Beginnings. We're definitely moving along. In this episode, the plan is to sell some apples as we're doing right now, purchase some land, combine some land, move into October, harvest our soybeans, plant some canola, and get a pressure washer.
Romans 12, verse 20 and 21. Therefore, if your enemy is hungry, feed him. If he is thirsty, give him a drink. For in so doing, you will heap coals of fire on his head. Do not be overcome by evil, but overcome evil with good.
All right, we're up here at the warehouse. We are selling a load of apples. And the reason being is because we want to purchase a plot of land up by our other field that we're going to combine into one field. I think that it makes sense for us to, if we can purchase some fields and make them a little bit bigger, for us to do that. So that's what we're going to be doing. That's what we talked about in the intro here. So we just went ahead and sold those apples. I'm going to go ahead and bring this back to the farm for now. We're going to go ahead and grab the cultivator, and we'll go ahead and move up, purchase that piece of land, and get some fields combined. All right, so we're up here. We do got to collect our bales yet. I figured we just go ahead and leave those on the field from last month. I'm going to collect those and sell those this month. So this plot of land, plot 22, is the one that we're looking at buying. We're going to go ahead and purchase that. $47,000 with our discount. So now we own plot 22. I think it's, so 21 is 6 1/4, 22 is 5 1/4, so we'll be, at roughly 11.5 acres with this. I think it just makes sense for us to go ahead and combine these fields together. So that's what we're going to go ahead and do. And while we're doing this, let's go ahead and just kind of recap what we did finish up for last month. We ended up tithing $8,700 for the month of August. We did finish up that sorghum contract. We did take a contract for cultivating starting here in September. So once we're done with this, we'll send a worker over there while we do some field prep. Whoops, we're not even on our line here. Let's go ahead and reset back over here on our line. And we'll make the field all the way down. We will end up having to, I believe, repurchase the soil samples for all of this. Just because I'm not sure how far the soil samples that we already have will reach. But that's okay. It works out really good. We'll go ahead and take those soil samples for both fields. It'll kind of just reset it for us, so that's no big deal. We will be, in this episode, like I said in the intro, moving into October and harvesting our soybean fields. But we definitely want to get this field planted with canola right away. So we got to do some liming on both the fields, and then get our seeder out and get some seeding done. So that's kind of the plan once we get both of these joined. All right, perfect. So let's go ahead and move over to this side. Feels good using our own tractor, using our own cultivator. It's definitely nice to see things really coming together. We talked about last episode the grind and how, sometimes it was a little bit discouraging. Felt like it was never going to come together. But here we are. We have our own tractor. We have our own cultivator. We now can take cultivating contracts without us having to lease equipment. So we're going to be able to make more money off our contracts that way. So yeah, everything's just really looking up. I was kind of hoping to be able to purchase the farmyard maybe by the end of this year, but I don't know. I'm not sure if it's going to happen. I'm hopeful. We definitely have some time yet, but if it does, that's awesome. If it doesn't, we'll just keep on grinding away with our little farm that we have for now. And it's definitely suiting us really well. That silo with 75,000 liter capacity. We already filled it up. Off that sorghum harvest, I think we had roughly about 15,000 liters of crop left over. After we finished the contract, I tried sticking it inside the silo, and we didn't have enough room, so we maxed out our silo capacity already. So we'll probably end up selling some oats before we harvest our soybeans, just because I think our soybeans are going to be worth more money. So it would make sense for us to store those long term versus storing the oats long term. But we can always, play that by ear. We do have a direct drill, so we don't have any reason to cultivate this field. So we're not going to do that. Let's go ahead and turn off field create because we don't want to be creating fields later on. I was hoping to get this field over here, field 13, and combine these two, or even one of these to combine them together. But they still got crops in them, so for us that's a no-go. That's okay. Just options for expansions for next year. We can still hopefully buy some fields at the end of the year and still expand that way. So definitely a lot of different things to think about, a lot of different options that I've been rolling around in my head, trying to figure out what the best route to go is. I guess we'll just kind of take it one day at a time and see what becomes available, see what our finances look like after our soybean harvest. And we got a big selling that we can do also in January with a lot of product. So that'll really point us in the right direction for year 3 to kind of see how much we can expand from there. So I'm going to go ahead and get this guy started on his cultivating contract. We're going to get some soil samples taken. We're going to get some bales collected, get those sold, and then do some liming. So I'll catch up with you guys here in just a little bit. All right, well, we got our first load of straw. We got the top field picked up. We're working on the bottom field. Let's go ahead and get this first load sold. And didn't take them. Let's go ahead and see. We gotta go to the other side. Okay, that's right. Let's just back up, pick them back up. We'll go to the other side and get them sold. Not bad, $7,000 for the first load. Let's go ahead and get the rest and see what we get for them. And back here for load number 2. We'll have a couple bales left. We didn't get them all on here, but that's okay. A little over $7,000. Let's go ahead and get the rest. All right, back here with the last 4 bales. Let's go ahead and drop these off for a total of $1,700. We're gonna go ahead and grab some lime, bring the trailer over here, and we'll go back and get the spreader, start spreading lime. All right, well, we got our first field limed. I almost forgot about this one up here. I was going to wait to see if we could maybe get another field, but the ones that are adjacent to it, I don't think we're going to be able to afford those this year, so I figure we'll go ahead and just knock it out while we're up here. We did pick up a cultivating contract. We're going to let that run in the background. They can knock that out while we finish up planting our canola, and then after that, we should be good to go ahead and move into October and start knocking out our soybean harvest. So let's go ahead, jump back to the farm, grab our planter, get loaded up with some seed and fertilizer, and let's start planting canola. All right, so we're up here getting ready to start planting. Looks like we got some rain moving in. Should be here around 1,500, last around 1,700. But we'll just get as much knocked out as we can until the rain does start coming. So I want to go ahead and, kind of talk about the verses in the intro this morning. In Romans 12, when it was talking about, it says, do not be overcome by evil, but overcome evil with good. It's easy for us to get lost in the desire to have retribution or justice served for, the things that have been done to us that have been wrong. And it's easy to hang on to those grudges and, to kind of have a bitter attitude towards other people. But it's extremely important for us to understand that, when Jesus was talking about, he says, for in doing so, you will heap coals of fire on his head, right? It's when people do wrong to us, they are waiting for us to do wrong back to them, right? One of the best things that we can do is just to repay their evil with kindness. And honestly, that's the best example that we can set, not only for to them, but also to others around us. And it's interesting what happens to the dynamic that changes once you repay good to them, even though they've done wrong to you, right? It does something inside them that they just can't quite understand, and oftentimes it sparks a thought process, right, for them to kind of think about what they're doing and their behaviors. And even when you think about bullies, right, they find a lot of enjoyment in being mean to others. But whenever you take that ability away from them, where they don't have that ability to affect you, honestly, it becomes a worthless part of their day to be doing that, because they realize it's not bothering you. So oftentimes they just kind of forget about it or move on. But the best part is, if God so desires it to be that way, is you might even become friends, and your attitude and your relationship with God can affect a positive change within them. So as we go about our day-to-day lives, and we realize that there's always things that can upset us, whether it's driving down the road, or a coworker, or a family member, or whatever the case is, right? There's always going to be something out there that might cause some irritation or some strife or some bitterness. Just remember that one of the best things that we can do is to just love on them and to encourage them. And like it says in verse 20, it says, if your enemy is hungry, feed him. If he is thirsty, give him a drink, right? Oftentimes the reason why they act out or why they're so mean is because they have things that are going on in their life, and they're not sure how to deal with it. They don't have someone they can go and talk to. They don't have someone they can lean on. But if we become that person for them, it's amazing what can happen and how that can affect a positive change in their life. And then also it affects a positive change kind of down the road in many other people. So that's one of the things that people, one of my first sergeants always told me, he's like, if you want to see change, he's like, you got to be the change. And in order to affect change, you have to change yourself, and then affect change in others down the road by our attitudes and behaviors, by our actions and responses. So just want to share that with you. Hopefully that encourages someone today. But we're going to go ahead and knock out this canola planting session. Hopefully we got enough fertilizer and enough seed. Looks like we'll have enough seed for sure. Fertilizer we might be a little bit low on. But if we do, we'll just have the store deliver a pallet of fertilizer and we'll get it knocked out. So I'll see you guys here in just a few minutes. Well, it is raining now. I think what we'll do is we'll go ahead and jump up and grab our trailer. We got some product to move around. We'll lettuce is almost full, so we need to get that moved before we move into October. So we'll take the advantage of the rain and kind of get that done. And then I will see you guys back when it's time to start finishing up our canola planting. All right, it's all done raining. Got done a little bit before 5 o'clock, so that's good. We will have to kind of get moving on this planting to make sure we do accomplish it all before, at the end of the day, it's already going to be 5 o'clock. We're just about halfway done with the field. We had to pick up another cultivating contract, so we got that started. We got all of our lettuce moved. It's too bad in the supply contracts we have an oat contract, but it's for 125,000 liters, and I believe that we only have about 63,000 liters of oats, 62,000. So not quite enough to do the contract, but that's what we're working towards. That's the goal. So hopefully one will come up. We'll just keep planting, keep harvesting, and keep storing until we make that goal happen. So without further ado, let's go ahead and we'll purchase 1 pallet of fertilizer when we get to the top of the field here. We'll just have the store deliver it. We'll fill up, and then we'll commence to knocking this planting season out. All right, well, we've got that field all planted. I do plan to plant this one right away too. I think it would make sense for us to, get both of these on the same planting and harvest cycle, being so close together. I'm just going to go ahead and jump into the used market real quick. I just kind of want to see what's out there. So there's this John Deere 7R series. Starts out at 305 horsepower. At 127,000, we could bump it up to 332 for 134. All the way up to, was it 388 for 166. The tractor we have now, it's a good tractor, but it is definitely struggling a little bit. I know that the cedar, I believe, is rated for 240. We're at sitting around like 235. So it just kind of is a little bit underpowered. We have the John Deere 8R series starting on at 326. And we can also bump that up to, does it go all the way up to 458? So if we bought this one used, we could get it at 138,000 for 326 horsepower. That might not be a bad option for us to go with. I know we were kind of wanting to save all of our money, but right now we are definitely just struggling a little bit. We do get another cultivating contract we could maybe knock out here this month while I'm planting, but I guess we'll go ahead and see. It's already 7 o'clock at night, so we don't have a lot of time left. But either way, I am going to knock out this contract off camera, and the next time I see you guys will be in October, and we will be knocking out our soybean harvest. So I'll see you guys here in just a little bit. All right. Oops, I lost my pressure washer. Let's go ahead and grab that back. So we did buy a pressure washer, as I said we were going to in this episode, and start taking better care of our equipment. We also finished up that harvesting contract last night. We got a couple cultivating contracts that we took for this month so far. We are going to be knocking out our soybean harvest. We moved some product around to make sure we had room for the lettuce in our greenhouses, and that should be good to go there. We'll rewash this. I mean, we're going to be finishing up this harvest still in the month of October, so let's go ahead and get this moved over to our field. One cool thing I did is in the supply contracts, we have soybeans. Now the soybeans, it's 45,000 liters that we need. And I think our field is 12 acres. So I don't know how much we're going to get off of it, but we're going to be keeping an eye on that contract, because that could be our very first supply contract that we actually get to fulfill, right? And that's kind of the entire purpose of this playthrough, is to be supplying goods. So hopefully we're going to have enough soybeans off of that we can supply a contract. We do have to move some oats around. We don't have enough space in our silo for the oats, but the first thing we're going to do, I think, is we'll fill up. We'll have to sell some oats in case we don't make that contract. We'll have to sell some oats. So I'm going to get everything set up here for our soybean harvest, and then we'll go ahead and get this knocked out. All right, we are up here dropping off this load of oats to kind of get prepped for our harvest. This way we'll have enough room in our 2 trailers, I think, for all of our soybeans. So when we were planting our field, we were spinning quite a bit, and I realized I'm playing with the tires wear mod, and these tires are looking pretty bald. So that might be one of the reasons why. I mean, it is a little bit underpowered for our cedar, only by about 5 or 10 horsepower, I think. So it shouldn't really be causing that much of an issue. But given the tires, we'll have to be replacing those tires here pretty soon. I think we'll wait till harvest is over. We'll get that done first, and then by the end of the year we'll replace these tires. There's not a whole lot left to do. Mainly just doing some liming on our soybean field to prep for spring, and then finish up this harvest. So for the most part, we should be okay. But it's definitely something we'll have to look at and take care of. So. All right, we are just finished up our first headland, and we have almost 10,000 liters of soybeans. So this contract is 45,000 liters. Now, there's no guarantee we're going to get it. There's no guarantee we're going to have enough. We're going to take a step of faith, and we're going to accept this contract. I believe that we'll have enough, just based off of how the field is yielding and what we're seeing. So we're going to, like I said, we're going to take that step of faith, and we're going to accept it. And I believe that we're going to accomplish it, and that will be our very first supply contract met on this challenge.
And your mercy's new. Every breath I'm breathing is a gift from you. In the valleys low and on the mountains high, you have been my helper, my provider, and my God. You've never failed me once, you've never walked away. Even when I wander, still your kindness stayed. You took my broken story, wrote your glory through. Every good and perfect thing comes straight from you. Through every season, Lord, I've seen your hand, grace upon grace. I'll forever stand. All my thanks belong to you. Every blessing, every breakthrough, you're so faithful, you are true. God, I give all praise to you. From you, for you, by your grace. You lift me up when I lost my way. Your goodness covers every mistake. So all my thanks belong to you. You're the hope that holds me in the midnight storm. My strength is failing, still your strength is born. You prepare the table, you supply my needs. Overflowing mercy pouring out on me. You turn my fear to faith, turn my doubt to song. In every trial I find you've been there all along. Every answer prayer, every door you move. All I have and all I am belongs to you. Through every season, Lord, I've seen your hand, grace upon grace. I'll forever stand. All my thanks belong to you. Every blessing, every breakthrough, you're so faithful, you are true. God, I give all praise to you. From you, for you, by your grace. You lift me up when I've lost my way. Your goodness covers every mistake. So all my thanks belong to you. You're my joy in every moment. You're my song in every try. Your love keeps reaching for me, full of mercy, full of life. Every step your hand is steady, every promise shining through. All creation joins in singing, God, all glory goes to you. All my thanks belong to you.
All right, we're all done with this field. I'm not 100% sure how much is in here. I know we needed about 14,000 liters. Honestly, I'm a little bit nervous if we're going to have enough. We will find that out together here relatively soon. I'm going to go ahead and bring the harvester back to the farm, and then we'll come back and grab the tractor and we'll look at the yield and figure out if we have enough. So we have 16,000 liters in here. So if we go ahead and look at our overall yield, well, it says 44,284 liters. That should be a little bit low. We brought just over 30,000 liters into the silo already, with 16,000 liters in here. So we should, okay, hold up. We should have enough. Let's just go hop over to the silo and let's just verify that. All right, so in the silo it says we have 30,955 plus a 16,000. So we should definitely have enough for the contract. Let's just verify what we're looking at. It says soybeans 45,000 liters brings to the grain sell point. So yeah, we definitely have enough there. So praise the Lord that the yield was exactly what we needed. Was definitely a step in faith, because honestly, I was extremely nervous that we weren't going to have enough. The yield wasn't looking great on the one side of the field. Praise the Lord that we have enough. I'm going to go ahead and we're going to grab the other tractor with the trailer. We're just going to load up all of our soybeans, and we'll go ahead and just have them follow us up to the sell point, and we'll fulfill this contract. So I'll see you guys here in just a second. This should be the place, which it is. We should not be getting any money right away. Should be going all towards the contract, which it is, so that's good. All right, let's go ahead and move this guy up out of the way. And that is our first supply contract all complete. Man, praise the Lord for that. We are one step closer to, having this thing exactly where we want it to be. That is supplying product throughout the entire area. Another thing I thought would be kind of cool. So this sell point actually is a constructible. Maybe it would be worth us finishing that before we leave. Maybe it'd be a really cool way to end the series. Is obviously we're not there yet. We're getting there. With having just done our first supply contract. I just think it'd be really cool to kind of finish it up with having that grain sell point kind of rebuilt and refurbished as a way to leave this place better than what we found it. So I just want to leave a verse here, as we just completed our first contract, but also we took a massive step of faith, right? And we did kind of do some calculations, right? And kind of we felt like we should have enough, but there was no real way of knowing until it was complete. The step of faith we took was taking the contract because we believed that we could get it done. I just really felt like it was a way for us to share a testimony of what faith really is. And in the Bible it says that faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things unseen. And when God kind of gives you direction, he leads you. He's never going to leave you or lead you into the wrong path, right? He's going to lead you into a path that's successful for him, not always for you in the way that you might think about success, but successful for him. And as I was doing that first headland pass, I just really felt like we should just accept the contract and use it as a testament and a testimony of faith. So that's what we did. And like I said, I was nervous about it. I didn't, there was times I doubted. And that does happen, right? Sometimes it doubts. That's why I turned off the HUD so I couldn't see. I didn't want to continue to live in that doubt. I was just going to trust God that he was going to provide. And he did. And, that's exactly what it means to step out in faith. Kind of sucks if we went and sold this load of oats because we didn't necessarily need to. It was good that we, left the space available for us. We're going to shut this tractor off. But yeah, that's exactly what faith is. And, when we step out in faith and trust God, he always prevails. So we are going to continue on here. I got a couple contracts I'm going to finish up. I'm going to take a harvesting contract if it's still available. We're going to harvest some sunflowers. And then we got a couple cultivating contracts to finish up. I'm going to borrow the items. So I don't want to purchase anything else right now that we don't need, mainly because I have my sights set on this farm over here. And we're close to being able to get it. We're not quite there yet, but I think this would be a great way to kind of move forward in this series. This is our bale and pallet storage that we'd be able to have. And then a bigger grain silo to be able to store product longer. We could even jump into some animals to kind of mix things up a little bit. But the downfall is on this map is you got to buy all this together. So you're not just buying just the farmland, you got to buy the whole thing. It is $930,000. There's a $279,000 discount. But when we go to purchase the land, the discount doesn't show up. We have to have all that money in the bank. And our line of credit right now is $647,000. Now, we don't need to do anything until about February or March when we're looking at expansion. So we have all the month of November and December, to still do contracts and sell product coming in January. So we definitely have that ability. So I think we're on the right track to get there, right? I just think that right now for us to, spend money on things that we don't necessarily need isn't the way to go. So we're gonna just borrow the equipment and be good to go. So I'm gonna work on this harvesting contract, and I'll just kind of jump back in here with you guys in a little bit. I'll let you know where we're at, update you on the situation, and then we will end the episode with liming our field in preparation for next season. All right, well, we got that harvesting contract all finished up. We got one worker that is finishing up a cultivating contract, so I figured we'd go ahead and get our harvester all washed up since we're pretty much done with it for the season. And then we are going to replace the tires on the case and then get our liming done on our field. The liming is where we will leave the episode for episode 11, or 11 or 12. I think it's 11. In the next episode, we will be moving all the way from November through February, and then we will start year 3 in the following episode. So we will be moving through the entirety of winter in the next episode. Basically, we'll do a few contracts, and then I know December was a heavy cultivating year, or cultivating month, so maybe there will be some good contracts for us in the month of November and December. But then we will be selling all of our product in, I believe, January. We'll double check those time frames as well in the next episode. And then coming into next season, we'll have one more field to plant at least, and that field will be, as of right now, is going to be peas. So let's go ahead and let's go ahead and replace the tires. All right, let's see. We got brand new ones. Oh. Brand new but dirty. That's all right. Maybe we go ahead and let's just leave this. So I'm gonna go ahead and jump over to get everything set up to do some liming. I just want to thank everybody for joining me on this episode here. One other thing I did want to talk about real quick is, I know I've used the phrase guys quite a bit when talking, and I do realize that it's not just guys that watch, and I've been under conviction of the fact that, not to say guys. So as we all are a family here, that's what we're going to say. I'm just going to refer to everybody as family, and so maybe it's silly to people, and maybe it doesn't matter, but I need to abide by the convictions that, I feel like God gives me, and that's one of them, so we're going to do that. But without further ado, I'm going to get everything all moved over, and we're going to end it with a time-lapse session of liming. So like I said, thank you all for joining me, and I'll see you next time on
When every thought says you're forgotten and tomorrow feels denied, there is a voice that comes